I'm assuming you're going to fill the architect in with what's been going on and what happened to Cepheus. And so that's fine. After you exchange notes, and the architect will tell you about how things have been going on during your absence, the architect will say, Your Highness, there's still some unfinished business concerning the butcher. I told him the last time he was here that it was not my place to determine his punishment for the things that he had done in the deep roads. I told him to wait for your return. Perhaps you should go to him and give him your judgment.
I will do with him in due time. Right now, I've currently got a past-out wife in my hands, and thus that is more my urgency. Please excuse me. Obviously, he does. They go to the chambers. Obviously, she lays her down. He then does come back. He goes up to Dimithir, Durfim.
I think actually, Dartham would be trying to find Balm. He'd be approaching, maybe with Darren too, and then the Black King would approach just as they're like about to head up to Balm and go from there.
Okay, so you will see Dartham and Darren, the girl with the silky dresses, with him. Okay. They're probably holding hands. Probably.
Yep.
Go ahead.
He looks at Dartham, sees that apparently that he's holding a mortal's hand. He's just like, I'm going to pardon you for now, because originally I was going to beat the living ever shit out of you. But I think I'll save that for later.
And Dartham is actually like he turned and saw him would start, and then just the Black King just said that, and Dartham is just like standing there going, blink, blink. he's
Either get pardoned or get beat the living shit out of. What do you want?
Yeah, Darren. Thank you, Your Majesty. I won't waste this.
Yes. You're pardoned for now.
Oh,
I am going to tell you when it's coming.
All right. And were you aware that I was the chosen test subject for the cure?
Yes.
All right. It's working adequately for now.
Yes. Good. And he goes back upstairs to the chamber to attend to Raziel.
Okay. All right. I think Leon really needed to roleplay with somebody, so...
So, there's a few people on my list when he wakes up. Namely Rosie. He also wants to do something with the Black King. I don't know if it'll be very long.
And then... Probably do that first then, since Radio's here.
Yeah. I mean, when the king is entertaining visitors after, all the things.
Right. Whenever the Black King is done attending to Raziel,
he's pretty much an on and off. These guys just want to grab him, He's just like, what?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you want to be sitting in your throne? Do you want to be in your chambers? Like, where do you want this to be?
It will be in the chambers, so that way he is pretty much close to his wife.
Okay. That's fine. You probably can knock on the chamber door. It's a rather large door because Raziel has to be able to fit through it too.
Oh yeah.
So it's very large. So they have a ginormous master bedroom.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there is a knock on the door, and I'm gonna say that well, no, honestly, Cobb will probably be standing outside, and I think that you will tell Cobb that you're there to see him. So I think Aaron is going to enter, and he will nail down, my liege, the young mage child, Leon, wishes to speak with you.
He may come through.
Of course, my liege. And he will open the door and allow Leon to pass through. Go ahead.
Cool. Leon will observe the proper etiquette, when meeting the king, and then when he's granted leave to, speak his mind, he's going to say, "So, what are your plans for the other magisters?"
I'm gonna leave that up for you guys. My time has technically come to pass, as it were. It's time for me to pass on the torch, metaphorically speaking. Obviously, the bow on drill, I will have to seal it away in a different tag away from Corypheus in case he does try to break out, which I doubt he will. Again, because obviously that place is going to be much heavily guarded with 40 fleets of Darkspawn. He will never escape.
I don't know if you could rig up another bomb so, if he does escape, it immediately goes off and he just, gets murked there and then.
Don't worry. I've got plenty of mages at my disposal who are more likely to perform some magical wards of little tips and tricks that more likely he will never get out of. It'll be promoted like a Rubik's Cube.
Oh, that's good. It's always good to have someone watching over one of the most dangerous beings in all of Thedas.
One of many. He is not like the Elven Pantheon, as much as I've seen on my travels. Especially the wolf.
Well, if we do come into contact with the other magisters and, I don't know, maybe also win over them, could we also seal them here?
I would probably suggest seal them in different tags, so that way it's more spread out. Because, again, together they conquer, divide they fall. You would know this, Iverfimil.
Leon is a little uncomfortable with that. It's all gone. My memories, I don't know if they're sealed or what.
Things like that take time. It took me quite a similar time to adapt to my past. Eons, even. Trust me, I'm older than I look.
Man. Do you happen to know anything about about me?
From what I know, obviously, I was one of the Horlocks that witnessed from afar. Actually, scratch that. My friend woke you up!
Oh.
Yes, he started the blight, and I pretty much strangled him afterwards.
Seems to be your go-to problem-solving technique.
But at this moment in time, obviously you and I can come to a mutual understanding as well. Even though you use blood magic, and I have some knowledge of the fate in the Black City. But I will say this. History will more likely repeat itself at some point. Do not fall those same mistakes.
I intend not to. I mean, I guess this is a nice fresh start, right?
Indeed. Just tread carefully, because every action does have a consequence, good or bad.
Yeah. Do you happen to have any books or history or anything that I could learn from? Maybe about Thumiel, about myself, or the other magisters? Something to give us an edge.
One moment. He sits up from his chair, because obviously he was actually sat down doing this entire time. His helmet was off, so you clearly saw pretty much he does have facial expressions. Obviously his teeth are pretty much out; they're black. But stained red, so obviously he has been drinking blood. So he is a bit of a cannibal. But he does actually go up to a bookshelf. Probably about the height of my wall. I don't know whether or not you can see my walls in my room, obviously, neon lights. He picks out a rather large book that's roughly about this thick. And he does pass it on to you, and like, this has everything to do with the old gods, to winter, and including the Elven Pantheon. Make that what you will.
Oh, man, thank you. What language is it written in?
It is written in ancient winter, so you will need to transcribe it if you wish to bring it up to a modern age. It is an old book, the pages are slightly delicate.
It's a good thing the circle really went hard on the ancient Devine language studies.
Yes.
Thank you, and we'll try to keep you apprised of, well, our situation. He hands over a tracking rune. It's just something easily to communicate with. It will help you home into our location, but still in progress, so it may take a bit.
Understandable. I've used these runes before. Back when I was more flesh than spawn.
Well, thank you, and knowledge is important.
Indeed. And now you may leave. I have business I need to attend to.
He bows and takes his leave.
Baum is, again, he's been keeping himself very distant from the group. And I think you're going to find him not outside of the city, but very close to the edge. And I think he's just going to be staring out into the distance, out into the distance of the deep roads. And he's just kind of sitting and is hunched over, and the thing seems to be in very deep thought.
He'll just sit down next to Balm, dwarfed by him.
You okay with talking?
I can talk.
Copper for your thoughts.
I know you didn't actually cast it on me during that particular battle, Dartham, but I would like to politely ask that for the time being, you never cast that Call of the Taint spell on me.
Of course.
What I did today, I know that I did not do it on purpose. But that doesn't help the fact that she's in the infirmary right now in a lot of pain. I could have done very permanent damage if you all had not stopped me. Part of me semi-wished that I had gone with the plan to make the sacrifice to destroy Corypheus.
Why did you offer that plan?
I'm still a threat, Dartham. Not just the taint, but just my sheer strength. And if it is uncontrollable, I just feel a lot of shame.
He just smiles and looks at Balm and gives Balm a look of just pure understanding, not pity or anything. And maybe this is like one of the first times Balm looks at Dartham and sees a very similar kind of shame in Dartham.
I don't blame you.
Thank you. But again, that doesn't help her.
No, it doesn't. I don't really have any words for you. I don't think there are any words.
I think the biggest thing that I am that's on my mind is how scared I am, Dartham. That was just one Magister, and granted we were able to take down one, and only 4 are left, but then again 4 are left. I have a feeling we're not going to have the luxury of attacking them one at a time next time.
I doubt that.
The last thing I want is to be a liability to this group, and considering how I can still technically taint everybody else, since I don't have any of the cure yet, I'm debating on whether or not I should stay here in Fortuna.
It's your choice if you do. And I don't blame you if you make that choice. But, at least from my view, you're the furthest thing from a burden.
Thank you, my friend. Dartham, you know that you are the closest thing to a brother to me.
Likewise.
What is your opinion, if I stay here or not? Truthfully.
I don't really know. It's probably not the answer you want to hear, but there's a point to both options. Though if we're talking liability in terms of ability to control yourself, I don't think any of us resisted the effects except for Nathan and the Templar.
That boy has great will, I have to admit. He definitely will be valuable when you do fight the Magister Siderials, I think.
Yes.
What do you want, Dartham, for me to do?
Selfishly, I would like you to stay.
Here?
No, with us.
Selfishly, I would too.
And just because you may not be as effective in resisting their magic doesn't mean you can't help us in other ways. Your acupuncture teaching Tyrion has saved our lives. Just your massages have helped us be able to clear our minds and move our bodies in ways that would have killed us otherwise.
It's a fair point. Tyrion also has been picking up on that very quickly. I'm very proud of him.
Sure, you're strong and bigger than before. But you're still Balm. Incredibly handsome, masseuse.
He smiles a little bit. Do you really think so?
The mustache really helps.
He starts to twirl it a little bit. Really? He'll take his large hand and he'll just kind of gently pat you on the back. Thank you, my friend, for talking to me.
It's the least I can do for having you to put up with me this whole time.
He'll kind of pull you in for a little bro hug, bro side hug. And I think, you're gonna hear a soft voice go, "Oh," and you'll turn to look and Darren's right there. And then she just kind of, leaves, kind of just...
he just rolls his eyes with smiles.
"Get a room," she yells.
And he just laughs in response.
I'm gonna say that Daniel has, again, probably in another wing of the infirmary, and he seems to be a lot more coherent than before. So if you want to go visit him...
Yep. Pasha, I think she, if there's a door, she'll knock on it and kind of poke her head round, and...
He'll turn his head towards you and he'll smile and he'll say, to Mazrin, so I didn't dream you.
No, you didn't, my dear. And she'll come in and she'll, pull up a chair to his bed and, I think she'll probably take his hand in hers and just kind of like gently, stroke it and she'll. You had me so worried for the longest time there.
I have many questions. Why are you here and not at Saharon?
I have been looking for you for almost 20 years, I think.
Really?
Really?
I'm sorry I didn't make it easier on you.
Oh, don't you apologize, my dear. You have nothing to apologize for. But I heard that you were in Orlais. And so I traveled there and I found Sir Garrison and what was she called? Nazim? And Darren is here. She's also here. And then I heard you were with the Grey Wardens and I tracked you down, but you weren't you. What happened, my dear?
I don't know. Last I remembered, I was in the deep roads as well, fighting a ancient creature that apparently had broken from its seal. We slayed him, but I suppose it didn't quite turn out the way that we expected.
Who is we? Who were you with?
Another Grey Warden, Janica, he says. I know.
Out of character!
Ah, Janica.
Pasha,
She was the one who that we needed to go down there. Janica.
Well, she gave you some very bad advice, I think.
It's me.
The ancient creature sort of took over your body.
I see. Fergus, or Kuzland, is he still well?
Yes. I'm not sure if this was happening whilst you were present, but the Grey Wardens have splintered. You have the traditional Grey Wardens being led by Corin Alren, and you have the, I believe they're calling themselves the Black Wardens, being led by Fergus.
Corin is leading the Grey Wardens now?
Yes, you know him?
Oh, that's not good.
It's like, one of my children is slagging off my other child, oh no! Why do you say that's not good?
Corin is very laser focused and hot-headed, and to the point that he loses perspective, bigger picture things.
Well, that is fair. He was like that when he was a child. But to answer your...
You knew him?
Yes, I raised him for a couple of years. He wasn't in Saharon, I was in Kirkwall.
You were in Kirkwall?
Yes, I was in Kirkwall during the Blight.
I've missed a lot.
You have, and I will happily fill you in if that's what you'd like.
I would like that, but I can imagine you probably have questions for me.
I'm sorry if this brings back painful memories, but from what Darren says, you were a slave in Tevinter when you were taken. How did your life go? That's a very large question, I know, but...
It wasn't easy. From what I can remember, I was very scared when I was taken from Saharon. But my master was He was good to me. I've heard stories about how other servants were treated in Tevinter, and I think I was relatively well off. I got food, clothing, and yes, I definitely had my duties around the estate, but nothing exceptionally overbearing. And I do remember Darren. She was sweet. Well, sweet's not exactly the right word.
Sweet in a very Darren way.
Yes, I very much would like to see her at some point. But I earned my freedom, I suppose, through indentured servitude, and eventually ended up becoming a guard in Orlais, and more recently became a Grey Warden.
I can't begin to say how proud I am of you for surviving on your own, and you weren't present when I said this, but I need to say this again. Technically, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for not being faster or stronger or better prepared. I really am so very sorry.
He kind of notices the distraught in your face, and he just takes his hand and he just kind of gently places it onto your arm, and he says, "Tamazrin, you have nothing to apologize for. I ended up all right. I was happy. I had friends. I was well taken care of. I apologize that I never made it a point to return back to Saharon. By that point, it was just so far in my past, and it's not like I never thought about you. I did, and some of the other children. It just felt like a distant dream by that point. I hope that doesn't make you feel terrible."
It doesn't, my dear. It really doesn't. When you are well, would you be able to do me a favor?
What's the favor?
Would you be able to visit Saharon?
You can see that there's a little bit of almost a fear or worry about it. May I ask what purpose?
I would like to walk you up that beach. And you may turn around and get on the first boat out afterwards. Please, my purpose is not recruitment. I just want to see the little boy I lost come home. Maybe not permanently, but just for a day.
If that would make you feel some form of closure, I'm sure I can see what I can do to make that happen.
If you just consider it, that would make me so happy.
Somebody told me once, a good friend of mine, that home is not a place. Home is more than a place. And coming home to somebody that you love could also simply mean reuniting with them. Sir Garrison told that to me.
He seemed like a nice man. I liked him. The others, for some reason, took a disliking to him, but he seemed quite lovely to me.
So you do know him. Wonderful. Is he still in Orlais?
No. I have some bad news for you there, I'm afraid. He sadly was he passed away doing his duty.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. I suppose that means I need to attempt to fulfill his request of me if he ever did pass on. Do you know if he ever managed to, when you spoke to him, did he ever mention about any unfinished business that he wished to attend to before he died?
I don't believe so. That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Well, that's fine. I will, I'm sure I can find out the next time I'm in Orlais.
I'm terribly sorry I didn't have better news to tell you about him.
I just need to find somebody then, once I get back to Orlais. And at that point, you'll hear a knock on the door, and Darren will be there.
Mhm.
And she will say, "Well, there he is." And he'll say, "Darren, you look much more beautiful than before." And she says, "Well, thank you. Although, let's be honest, when the last time you saw me, I was a heck of a lot younger. But thank you," she says. And at that point, she notices that Pasha's also in the room, and she says, "Don't let me interrupt anything. I just wanted to see how he was. I can come back later, and when you are done with your moment."
Pasha will give a look at Daniel. Is it looking like he's like, "Oh, I'd really like to talk to this person," and you're kind of getting in?
I mean, he definitely seems like he wants to catch up with her at some point. But you were there first, so it's not like he's going to be rude and be like, you know.
Pasha will kind of squeeze his shoulder, and I think if he'd let her, she'd try and kiss his forehead, just because again, he might not remember it, but she remembers him as a little boy, and so she's kiss on the forehead and say, "I will see you later. What name do you prefer?"
Daniel is what I've been accustomed to.
"Then I will see you later, Daniel."
One question before you leave, though, to Mazrin. He says, "Now that you've spent all this time, as you said, looking for me, what are you going to do now?"
If I may be blunt, I hadn't really thought about it. We have 4 more Magisters Sidereal to fight. And after that, we'll see. We'll see.
Do you think you're returning back to Saharon?
I do believe I will. I have things that I need to try to do, at least.
You can sense that he's a little disappointed at your answer. And he sort of says, "Obviously, it's 100% up to you, but I would hope that you would linger for as much as possible, so we can catch up."
If you ask it, I will try.
He will give you a smile, and I guess you're going to leave Darren with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time with it, depending on how much we have. But I want to roleplay a little bit with Nathan, if that's not an issue.
Yeah, you can. Where do you want to find him?
I mean, anywhere, to be honest. So I'm probably coming on. I'm grabbing some fresh air after what happened.
He'll probably be doing some target practice just outside of Fortuna.
Yeah, so I'm sort of going out. I got like my rifle in my back, got everything, and I go. Nathan?
Hey, Tyrion. Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good shooting out there, by the way. Makes me really proud.
Thank you. Same to you. You've always been a crack shot.
Yeah. What's going on?
Rosie's gonna be safe.
Thank the Maker.
She'll recover, but
How's Leon taking it?
haven't seen him, but I imagine he's probably taking it very bad. But hopefully everything will be fine.
It seems like she's not going to be able to travel with us anytime soon.
Probably not. And that saddens me, since her father did tell me I had to watch over her and at least she'll be safe, but
Yeah,
she'll be better here.
I agree. I have a feeling that's not the only reason you wanted to talk to me.
I mean, a lot of things have happened since we last spoken. Many things.
A lot of things. A lot of things I didn't know about that apparently a lot of other people knew about. He says, looking at the Darkspawn, the awakened Darkspawn city.
Yeah,
Tyrion, can I ask you something?
sure.
Do you think I'm close-minded, untrustworthy, judgmental? I see you say. I see Sarah. I was like,
I chuckle. Why? Because you are a person who believes in the law. Because you follow it, and that's what you follow.
I feel like you just answered my question.
I don't know, Nathan. I mean, yes, I'm telling you all these qualities about you, but a couple of times you swayed away from it. Leon, me.
Yes, that's true. Doesn't mean I feel good about it.
I can understand, but are you questioning what you believe in, or are you more not knowing what to do?
I guess a lot of questioning. Things were pretty easy growing up, all things considered. Ever since I joined you guys, I've had a lot to think about. The most surprising person here is the law speaker, Rousseau. I respect him, but it's... I definitely am seeing different people in different lights.
What about me?
You talking about the stunt you pulled back in Tevinter?
I mean, what else?
I won't lie to you, Tyrion. I was a little disappointed when it happened.
I believe everyone's probably is definitely saying that.
I'm not gonna kick you when you're still down, though.
And I doubt the law will save me, but that's not what I'm expecting when I return. But yet, still, I've committed a very heinous crime, even though I had, I guess, my reasonings. In your view, you just saw a law that happened, a law that didn't protect a man from a slave. What's your view on that?
I personally don't like slavery, personally.
I'd imagine so.
Tevinter was not my dad's favorite place. Even with Calpurnia, he still doesn't 100% trust anyone from Tevinter. But killing a man like that in cold blood, it just doesn't sit well with me, no matter how terrible of a person he was. But I don't know. Maybe if I was in your situation, maybe I would have not done anything that differently. I don't know. It's easy for me to say.
We're all conflicted with our beliefs and emotions, what we follow and what we don't follow. I can understand what you're going to right now. What's going on over there? As Tyrion points to the Darkspawn city. For me, though, at least I'm sure I don't follow the law that much. I did break one. What matters is there. He points at his heart. What you think is right. I won't lie, the law can be helpful sometimes. But there are situations where it can be a little bit muddy.
Emotions can cloud your judgment, Tyrion. Thinking with your heart as opposed to your mind, that can be a very dangerous thing.
Well, look what happened.
Exactly. Look what happened.
But I think you can live in both worlds.
I think that's possible. It's just twice as hard.
Tell me that twice.
You know who I think does a very good job of that?
Who?
My mom. I think she somehow manages to balance her head with her heart pretty well, and I just have never quite been confident enough to be able to do that. I just feel like following one and only one is so much easier than trying to follow both at the same time.
Well, it is.
It's like you're trying to fire at two targets at once. And with that, he, like, takes a shot. And then you'll see that he hits one stone, and it ricochets and bounces and hits another stone. I mean, I can do it, but it doesn't make it mean it's easy.
Well, nothing is easy. Maybe there will be a day where, who knows? Maybe you can balance both lives. Maybe you follow one. I can't say anything good. What I commit is a heinous enough crime. I can't give suggestions of morality. Doesn't mean though I can't be helpful. And I believe a person who could be good is one who sees on many issues and tries to see with different points of views.
I think that's fair. I look at Pasha and I feel like she somehow is in the same boat as I am in many ways.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Tyrion, just so you know, you and I, as far as I'm concerned, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're good?
I think we are, my friend.
Okay. Great. And he'll say, so, do you want more sniper rifle training?
I thought you never asked.
Oh, yes. Alright. Cool. The Black King. So, you're with Aaron Cobb right now. And he's going to say, for a moment there, my liege, I thought that we were going to lose you.
I thought my time was going to be up also.
I've been thinking, my liege, it's been more than 10 years since I have gone into service with you, and we had a bit of a rocky start. More than rocky start, to say the least. But I think over the years, working underneath you, it hasn't been so bad. And out of character, you just remain stoic. You just don't say anything.
I was gonna say, do you want me to up the ante? Because I can.
He sort of like tilts his head a little bit. Are we friends?
No.
Just making sure, he says. And even though you say that, he sort of has a smile in his face, as if you're like, nah, you love me. Nah, you love me. You just don't know how to say it.
And then you see him lift him up and then chuck him over the balcony. Good luck.
So, Leon, I think that Pyrus will actually break the silence unless you want to break the silence.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have Pyrus on my lap when I want to talk to him while I'm waiting for Rosie to awaken.
My boy, Are you alright?
It's scary what blood magic can do in the face of a, I guess, true master. Controlling the mind, causing blood to boil and bubble and not be your own.
I admit I was worried out there.
Yeah. I mean, you're a very powerful tool in the hands of the Magisters. You'd be even more potent.
I wasn't worried about me. I was worried about you.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried about me as well, but I mean, we'll live to the next fight. Worst comes to worst, the Black King will just blow himself up. I mean, yeah, we'll die, but I don't know. I'm more worried about Rosie now. Living with the aftermath is hard, harder than living in it.
She means a lot to you, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, Darathan was talking about spells to heal. Do you happen to have anything? My meager healing abilities just mend the skin, mend wounds. It can't fix this.
Something that can mend broken bones in an instant? Unfortunately, no. This is going to just take time to heal.
What about spirit magic? I read a little bit in the circle. It has awesome powers, but
I'm sure that a powerful spirit mage, a spirit healer certainly, can come up with a way to quicken the process. But I don't know if you know one personally.
I mean, I can try contacting someone in the Fade. Anything.
I suppose you could. If you really wanted to, you could reach into the Fade and ask for aid. But doing so would require you making a deal.
It's funny. All the things the circles taught me, don't do blood magic, don't make deals with demons. They sound very tempting right now.
I'm not telling you these things to tempt you, Leon. I'm just being honest that there are options. Whether or not you think there are viable options is up to you. But yes, making deals with demons is certainly a very quick way of mending this. And if that is what you want, I certainly can help you. But I'm not going to tell you to do that.
I want to. I want, but I can't. I've promised the party not to, well, be stupid, but oh,
Then it's your decision. Out of character, you've kind of noticed that for a while, Pyrus is very gung-ho about encouraging you to do this, encouraging you to do that. He's now taken a far less proactive approach and is just, here are the facts, here's the information, do with it as you will, kind of approach now. It pretty much happened essentially right after the bookmark thing happened.
That's what I was thinking. I know we haven't really talked much, especially after your memories have been unsealed. How are you holding up?
I mean, I'm a book, Leon. You don't have to worry about me.
But you didn't used to be.
No, I didn't used to be. But that's what I am now. What do you think is going to happen when all of this is good and done? Once you do defeat the Magister Siderials, what is going to happen to me?
Well, I know the logical answer, but depending on both our services to the cause and maybe a little finagling, maybe we can save you.
Save me from what? What do I need saving from?
I guess oblivion, being destroyed, being consumed.
Leon, my boy, I'm just a tool. And once tools runs out of their usefulness, you throw them away, you destroy them, you recycle them. That's just the life cycle. It is what it is.
But you're not a tool to, I mean, at least me, and certainly not my parents.
Leon, my boy, you shouldn't grow attachments to things like that. Not to objects.
But to people, to souls of objects.
I wouldn't call myself a person, Leon, not anymore. Sure, I may talk and I may have my own opinions and my thoughts, but I'm a tool, Leon. I've accepted that a long time ago, and you should too.
Just doesn't feel right. You are Pyrrhus. You are a being who's at least living.
I think I've realized that perhaps Pasha and I have a lot more in common than I thought. She claims she is Qunari. I am Pyrrhus. I am a book. I am a tool. I know where I fit in the grand scheme of things, so I accept that.
What's the saying that Pasha always says? You cannot blame the locust for being a locust.
Even a locust is a living thing. I am not.
Then what does that make me? I mean, I'm just a soul now.
You are a god.
Doesn't really feel that way, but I guess.
Does that mean anything to you at all?
Should it? I mean, I feel like me, despite, what's inside me. Maybe if I commune more with a soul, or talk to Violetta, or unlock some sort of hidden potential, but in the end, I hope I am who I am.
Well, Leon, you can be whatever it is you want to be.
I guess the same goes for you. You don't have to contain just blood magic secrets. You can branch out and grow, can't you?
I suppose nobody's ever used me in that way before.
I guess I can start filling you with other arcane secrets, like Flemeth's Grimoire. That'll be fun.
I guess I can't stop you. As long as you don't resort to start writing Rosie's name over and over and over and over again in my pages, I can tolerate that.
What if you... But, won't that be romantic, carrying names into oblivion?
I would rather that you keep whatever you have between the two of you out of my pages, thank you very much. I am not going to be a third party in your smut.
What? No. We'll at least need to fill you up with some healing magic,
Use me however you see fit. I am here to serve you.
I at least want you to have some say.
Well, at that point, he's about to say something, but that's when Rosie starts to stir.
He's going to lose focus on Pyrrhus and sort of reach for the hand, but realize that, the whole arm's broken, so that would be a bad plan. So he just sort of puts his hand, on her stomach.
Yeah. You do, and she sort of like flutters. Her eyes flutter a little bit, and she says, "Leon, is that you?"
Rosie, are you okay?
No. Very much not, but I appreciate you asking.
I guess that's a stupid question,
She
isn't it?
Is everybody else okay?
Yeah, we survived, and big bad evil guys sealed away.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm gonna be very useful to you guys anytime soon.
No, you need to rest. Think of Rosie first.
Yes, I suppose that's the smartest thing to do. How about you, Leon? Are you okay? I saw that you got hit quite a bit out there.
Except for this big gaping hole in my chest. I'm guessing it's bandaged up and everything.
Oh no, Leon, your sexy abs.
I don't think they existed to begin with.
Well, maybe some of the scarring will make it look like abs.
Yeah, you know.
You just see the Genlock mages slightly turn their heads, going, "What?"
I think I need to, be on an iron supplement diet for a while. If you need to write any letters, I'm happy to be your hands.
Oh, that would be great. I probably should tell my dad what happened. He's going to have a fit, but I'll handle him.
Oh boy. It's going to be a fun letter to write.
What are you guys gonna do now? Are you guys gonna go to the Isles?
I think that was the original plan, but we may have to regroup and think things through. This is quite the setback. I mean, we at least got 1 out of 5, right? 20% through.
Yeah, that's progress.
Yeah, and hopefully we can learn more through the Black King, and I hope we don't have to seal all of them. Hope we find a more permanent solution.
You guys will. I know you will. Well, don't let me slow you guys down. I'll be fine here in the meantime.
Yeah, and you can always send word. I'm sure you have ways of contacting us, and he puts a glyph. Yeah, I know you already have another one, but here you go.
She can't really take it, but she looks down on it and she says, "Just take care of yourself while you're out there, please. I don't want to worry about you."
I should be saying that about you. You're hurt pretty bad.
Bones will eventually heal. It's just a matter of time.
You're pretty hardy.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. But I know you guys will find a way out of this, and Leon, just like I said, just be careful.
You too. Like you back in the fight, but I want you well. I don't want to see you hurt.
And then she'll say, Can I see Mr. Bunn?"
Sure. He pulls Mr. Bunn out of the bag, sort of dusts him off a little bit.
And then you just hear the Genlock going, "Oh, for a second I thought that was a euphemism."
No. Yeah, that's probably what they would say. So he'll take a look at Mr. Bunn and then she'll say, "You keep him safe, Mr. Bunn, and I know that you'll be able to help Leon get through whatever it is that he needs to get through next."
Yeah, me too. Sort of pats Mr. Bunn on the head.
She'll tilt her head towards you and try to give you a kiss.
He's gonna lean down and complete the kiss.
And with that, she'll start to like doze off back to sleep again.
I guess he'll like go up to the big castle thing, look around, and just kind of oddly go,
You'll go to the big castle thing and you'll start to knock, and you'll see like Cobb. He's like brushing himself off because he was just thrown off. He was just thrown over the the balcony. He's fine though. This probably happens like every Thursday. And so he gets up and he brushes himself off and he says, "I will inform the liege of your presence." And again, same thing. He'll say, "My liege." He dusts himself off again. Mr. Alren wishes to speak with you.
Blackking comes out of his chambers. It looks like he's just been scratched quite a few times. I wonder by whom. But he comes out of his chambers, obviously, wearing obviously his royal black and red garments because he's a bit of an edgelord, and he does arise and yes.
All right. He will rise up and then return back with Rousseau.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I, Your Highness?
He looks at the fresh stars that Razakal has basically placed onto his body going, nah.
Right. Well, anyway, I won't take up too much of your time, but the first time I was here, it was kind of talked about that your people were getting antsy about going to the surface.
Yes. And I've already made my decision while I was fighting Corypheus.
Well, regardless, I'll be quite frank. Until I met Dartham, I probably would have just seen the Awakened butchered. But, him and Themiel have given me new light, so, if your people ever do wish to gain sovereign ground above, I'd be happy to represent you.
I'd happily take on that offer. Well enough, I was planning to make that decision today. That's my final wish. But of course, I want them to chant in song. To know about everyone that we are here. But we are here for peace. Not as what we were.
And I think you'll need a good person to broker that.
Yes.
With just kind of fiddling through his jacket, so you can reach me, and he'll hold out like one of his old cards.
He takes the card and like, interesting.
All right, whatever you were doing, I'll leave you to it.
He begins to whistle. Black King begins to whistle for a very, very slight moment. And then you hear him sing, going, "Cold, yeah, and water flowing hot, the land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters, hide the heart of who we are, making peace to build our future, strong, united, working till we fall, and we all lift, and we all adrift together, through the cold mist. Till our life lost together.
Thank you, Radio. Thank you. Final scene. Darren will eventually go over to Leon real quickly, and she will say, can you come with me for a moment, dear?
Yeah, sure. He sort of gives a quick glance at Rosie, gets up.
She'll say, this shouldn't take too long. And she will take you over to another part of the, like I said, the infirmary, which is where Daniel Lento is. And she says, Daniel, this is Leon Faust. Daniel sort of nods. Could you step over here, son? He says.
Yeah, sure. Is this, as a player, this is setting off alarm bells, but as a Leon, I don't know if this would, should I roll insight or?
Sure.
Okay. Would that be empathy, perception, empathy?
Yeah. Yep.
15.
You don't think you're in trouble or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Daniel says, Mr. Faust, I knew Buford fairly well. You know that Buford is Sir Garrison's first name.
Oh. You must know of, well, his unfortunate demise.
I did. Darren sort of filled me in on what had happened. As I said, Buford and I were fairly good friends. And I do remember a vague memory where we were talking about personal regrets in life. And with him passing, I know that he wanted to let you know about... He would have wanted me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
The truth? Is that different than the official report?
The truth is that he and Nazim had gone to investigate your parents' house because of reports of practicing blood magic. And your parents were, for the most part, trying to cooperate and appease them as much as possible. But Buford grew very impatient, maybe overzealous, stepped over his bounds, and attacked them first. They defended themselves from self-defense, and, well, I'm sure you know the rest. I don't have to go into gory details. He said that was by far the biggest regret of his life, and I'm not telling you this so that you can forgive him. But I'm telling you this because I know he wants you to know definitively what happened.
Definitively?
Yes. Roll me another perception, empathy, Leon.
Ha! It's a 9 with a stuck point.
Okay, keep going.
I don't think I could forgive him, though his loss of life is a tragedy, and I would be lying if I didn't say that I was a little glad that I finally got justice, but...
I think that's a fair thing to say.
He was still a man with morals, despite what he did. Even after all this time, I don't think I'm able to forgive him. But is there a reason behind you telling me this?
I just felt that Buford basically mentioned that if I ever ran into you just in passing, that he was too cowardly to admit that to you himself in person, that I could deliver the news for you. I don't know if that necessarily helped you or not, but or if it unwound old wounds, but I just felt that in my conscience I needed to say something.
Well, to be truthful, if anything, it made it worse, but as long as you have a free conscience, I guess that'll help. The dead can no longer do anything, for better or worse, and thus we must move on. Will you be traveling with us?
I have to go report back to Fergus Kuzland, unfortunately.
Very well. I'm sure the Black King can help you with transportation and the like. Forgive me if I don't see you off.
Understood.
I'm sure Pasha would like to see you, though, before either we leave or you leave. You're very important to her.
Good luck to you, Mr. Faust.
And to you as well.
Leon, you will leave. Tyrion, I'm going to say that you are just down the hall. Not that far away, but you're probably, like, changing some of Rosie's bandages. And I'm going to say that you actually overhear, shortly after Leon leaves. You may not have heard, like, their full conversation, but you at least got the gist of the conversation, so you kind of witnessed what just happened. And you can hear Darren turn to Daniel Lento, and she's going to say, I thought you just told me that Leon's parents attacked him first. I did, Daniel Lento said, but Buford would not have wanted me to tell him that. Are you sure? Darren says. That was his request. The boy is not to know the actual truth about his parents. That is what he wanted. All right. Fine. Darren doesn't say a word. But Tyrion hears it.
Tyrion sort of listens. And he's gonna go back and change his bandages, and he says, for now, I guess.
Then, in that moment, everything around you starts to shake. Almost like there's an earthquake of some sort. But the weird thing is, other than the Dragon Chakra avatars, nobody else seems to notice the shaking whatsoever. It's as if, to them, it's not actually happening. And before you have a chance to reach the others, you start hearing voices. One particular voice, which sounds male, goes, that work? And as soon as the voice says that, there's a bright flash of light, and you can feel yourself being pulled in many different directions. Your eyes lose focus for several seconds, but then you gradually start adjusting to your surroundings as you realize that the shaking has stopped. The five of you, plus Valor and Rosie, are no longer in the deep roads. Instead, you find yourself in some kind of library. And there, standing before you, looking just as bewildered as you are, stand 5 other strangers you have never seen before. And I'm going to end the session there.
Hooray!
Ooh.